By 2000 BC, city-based civilizations were developing in some parts of the world. By this time, 7 to 8,000 years had passed since humans were engaged in agriculture. Some of the major civilizations of the time were the Mesopotamian, the Egyptian, the Indus Valley, and the Chinese civilizations. Were these civilizations aware of one another's existence? Did they know how to navigate from one place to another through sea or land routes? Did they have any idea which mountains, forests, or rivers would come their way? These were some very important questions, and these questions could be answered through maps only. Many civilizations would have tried their hands at creating maps. Hi everyone, this is Akhilanand Singh. Welcome to a series on the evolution of world maps. This first video will tell the story of development of maps between 2000 BC and 200 AD. We will be objective in our approach and discuss only those maps that have substantial proof. The Saint Belec slab is the oldest known map in the world. It is a map of a small territory engraved on a stone slab, 2.2 meters and 1.5 meters in size. It was created between 1900 BC and 1640 BC. The stone slab is a three-dimensional representation of the river Odet Valley in Finistère, France. Paul du Châtelier discovered it in 1900. The map possibly was not used for navigation. It only showed the political might and territorial extent of a local ruler. The first real attempt at making a world map was made in the 6th century BC by the Babylonians. This map showed a few cities and some geographical features around Babylon. 6th century BC, Babylonian world map Imago Mundi. This 6th century BC map created on a clay tablet shows Babylon on the river Euphrates surrounded by a circular landmass that includes Assyria, Urartu and several cities. The central region is surrounded by a circular ocean which was known as a bitter river or salt sea at that time. The outer side of the circular ocean has 8 triangle-shaped outlying regions. The tablet has inscriptions written in Akkadian language. The map has markings for mountains, a swamp, a canal, cities like Urartu, Assyria, Dar, Elam, and 3 nameless cities. The Imago Mundi map shows how ignorant the Babylonians were about the world around them. This is because it was a very early attempt at map making. Babylon, being a land power with little or no sea trade, could be the other reason behind it. The Greek philosopher Anaximander created a better map than Imago Mundi. It showed the Mediterranean Sea and 3 continents surrounded by a large ocean. Anaximander was a Greek philosopher who lived in Miletus in Antalya region of modern Turkey in 6th century BC. He was a disciple of Thales and a mentor of the mathematician Pythagoras. Anaximander is credited with having created one of the world's first maps. Anaximander was an early proponent of science. He observed and tried to explain different aspects of the universe. He attempted to describe the mechanics of celestial bodies in relation to the Earth. Anaximander's map was circular. It showed the known regions of the world grouped around Aegean Sea at the center. An ocean surrounded the land areas. In his model, the Earth floated still in the center of the infinite, not supported by anything. A century later, in the 5th century BC, Hecataeus enhanced Anaximander's world map. Hecataeus of Miletus was an early Greek historian and geographer of the 5th century BC. Hailing from a wealthy family, he traveled extensively and is credited with a work titled Periodos Gestes, which means travels around the earth or world survey. He did some point-to-point coastal surveys around the Mediterranean Ocean. He settled in his native city Miletus where he held a high position and devoted his time to the composition of geographical and historical works. Hecataeus described the countries and inhabitants of the known world. His account of Egypt was particularly comprehensive. He created a map based upon Anaximander's map of the earth, which he corrected and enhanced. He also added descriptions to it. His work survives in some 374 fragments, most quoted in the geographical lexicon the Ethnica, compiled by Stephanus of Byzantium. 3rd century BC Eratosthenes Map. Eratosthenes was an ancient Greek polymath, a mathematician, geographer, poet, astronomer, and music theorist. He was born in 276 BC in Cyrene, now part of modern-day Libya in North Africa. Eratosthenes was a man of learning. He made important contributions to geography, chronology, mathematics, and science. He became the chief librarian at the famous Library of Alexandria. His work is comparable to what is now known as the study of geography. He introduced some of the terminology still used today. Eratosthenes was the first to calculate the circumference of the earth. He did this by using the extensive survey results he could access as a librarian. His calculation was remarkably accurate with an error margin of less than 1%. Eratosthenes drew an improved world map incorporating information from the campaigns of Alexander the Great and his successors. In his map, Asia became wider, reflecting the new understanding of the continent. Eratosthenes was also the first to incorporate parallels and meridians into his cartographic depictions, attesting to his understanding of the Earth's spherical nature. 1st century BC map by Poseidonius. Poseidonius was a Greek philosopher who was a celebrated polymath throughout the Greco-Roman world, like Aristotle and Eratosthenes. He lived in the ancient Greek and Roman city of Apamea. Now this region belongs to Syria. He opened a school and a planetarium in Rhodes, Greece, to teach students the laws of the cosmos. None of his works survive, only fragments have been found, although the titles and subjects of many of his books are known. Writers such as Strabo and Seneca provide much information about his life and works. His work about the ocean and the adjacent areas has been a general geographical discussion among the experts. Poseidonius measured the Earth's circumference by reference to the position of the star Canopus. His measurement of 39,000 kilometers is close to the actual circumference of 40,075 kilometers. This measurement was later adopted by both Marinus and Ptolemy. Poseidonius believed that the moon was a mixture of air and fire. He attributed the cause of the tides to the heat of the moon, hot enough to cause the water to swell, but not hot enough to evaporate it. He proposed that Earth was sling-shaped, broad in the middle from south to north, but narrow to the east and west. Poseidonius also proposed dividing the inhabited world not into continents but through circles parallel to the equator, indicating variations in flora, fauna, and climate. 1st century AD map by Strabo. Strabo was a Greek geographer, philosopher, and historian who lived in Asia Minor during the transitional period of the Roman Republic into the Roman Empire. He was born to an affluent family in Amasya, modern-day Turkey. He is famous for his 17-volume work, Geographica. Geographica is an encyclopedia of geographical knowledge consisting of 17 books written in Greek in the late 1st century BC to the early 1st century AD. Geographica is the only extant work that provides information about the Greek and Roman people during the reign of the Roman Emperor Augustus. Some 30 manuscripts of Geographica or parts of it have survived, almost all of them medieval copies of copies. Although Strabo referenced the ancient Greek astronomers Eratosthenes and Hipparchus and acknowledged their astronomical and mathematical efforts towards geography, he claimed that a descriptive approach was more practical. The world maps attributed to Strabo are geographical reconstructions done in later years from his written text. 2nd century AD map by Marinus of Tyre. Marinus was a Greek-speaking Roman geographer, cartographer, and mathematician who hailed from Tyre in the Roman province of Syria. Though his original work is lost, his impact is visible in Claudius Ptolemy's descriptions. He was the first to assign latitude and longitude to every place. He used the meridian of Canary Islands or Cape Verde Islands as the zero meridian. Marinus thought that the inhabited world stretched in latitude from the Shetland Islands to the Tropic of Capricorn and in longitude from the Isles of the Blaze to China. Marinus introduced the concept of an equidistant rectangular projection, a cartographic technique that is still used today. He also ventured into uncharted territory, becoming the first in Roman Empire to depict China on maps. His meticulous approach involved thoroughly studying predecessors' works and scrutinizing traveler diaries. In 1593, Cornelis de Jode created a world map based on Marinus' projections. He added North and South America into it. Though Marinus' map doesn't mention Australia or Antarctica, he coined the term Antarctic, referring to the area opposite the Arctic Circle. 2nd century AD map by Claudius Ptolemy. Claudius Ptolemy was a geographer, mathematician, astrologer, astronomer, and a music theorist. He lived in Alexandria, Egypt, a province of the Roman Empire. The Ptolemy world map is the map of the world known to the Greco-Roman societies in the 2nd century AD. Ptolemy's most well-known work is Geographicae Hyphaegesis, a handbook about drawing maps using geographical coordinates for parts of Roman world known at the time. Ptolemy's work probably included maps, but the original map portions have been lost and they could not be recovered. The present form of map is reconstructed from Ptolemy's coordinates by Byzantine monks under the direction of Maximus Planius after 1295 AD. The map is based on descriptions in Ptolemy's book Geography written in 150 AD. Ptolemy made valuable contributions to other fields of knowledge as well. He wrote about the mathematics behind the musical scales in his book Harmonicon. The crater Ptolemus on the Moon and the crater Ptolemus on Mars are named after Ptolemy. The story of maps so far. Let's summarize the story of maps at the end of 200 AD. By this time, most of Europe and Asia were largely known. Africa was also somewhat understood. The North Pole regions were vaguely known and the South Pole was just named. The Americas and Australia were yet to be discovered. This is the right time to end the first part of this video series. In the next video, we discuss world maps created after 200 AD. I hope you find this series interesting. Your suggestions and comments would help me create better videos. Thank you.